Hey guys, how are you?
Hi all. I'm good.
Can you hear me? Am I audible? Hey Preeta.
Yes,
Yes.
Rahul. Yes.
All right. So let's start our today's session. So guys, first of all, do you have any questions, any concerns, anything for me? Okay, I'm taking it as a no. The next question is, you have my emails, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, so please go through that email. There are lots of attachment out there. I think 4 attachments over there. I mean, in upcoming emails, you will get lots of attachments, lots of files, lots of helping text, lots of supporting documents, which will help you to understand the concept and which will help you to in cache or excel your, your knowledge about those kind of things. Okay. Today, we are going to have another session. I'm going to show you UML related activities and I'm going to show you 2 diagrams and I'm going to show you the technical things. There will be some mention of technicalities. Everything will be mentioned through Miro. And to be honest, this template, these kind of things are already available in Miro. So let me share my screen without wasting further most time. All right. I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
Rahul. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So this is a process. This is a login process that I have designed over here. Just give me a minute time. Yes. So this is a login process that I have designed over here. Okay. And it's a sequence diagram. What is sequence diagram, guys? This is a part of UML diagram. Sequence diagram is showing you sequentially what is the process that we are doing. Okay. Sequentially, this is the process. This is the login thing. This is the validation. What are the validation that we are doing? All the things that is mentioned over here in terms of technicalities and they are connecting to the database. So this is the diagram, though I haven't drawn it. You can have those kind of things from the template. I just bring this up. If you want to introduce some sort of diagrams from here, you can use this kind of shapes. Okay, this kind of shapes are already available. You can use this kind of things. So these are already available. So you can use this kind of tools. And this is the logging thing. Like, of course, every process has some business logic. In the previous session, we understood like what is a requirement. Now, today, we will understand some sort of requirement and we will understand what is requirement analysis. So requirement analysis is a certain thing what you need to analyze those kind of things. Sometimes, of course, you need to discuss with your team, like whatever the technicalities is mentioned over here, like user.id.password. Those kind of things, it won't be possible sometimes that it won't be possible from your side to capture all those things, to mention all those things, to review all those things. Yes. Sometimes what you need to do is you need to consult with your technical team members or team members together to discuss all of the things. What is the limitations of the requirement? How much we can give? Okay. Not only that, client may ask you lots of unrealistic things. Okay. Like here, for this particular example, there is a process. So how to define the process? What is the process of login? Okay. There can be a page from which they log in. There can be API tools, third-party tool from which you can call some APIs and they can log into the system. There are lots of things in there. But what are the things that they're mentioning? There has to be a proper logic. There has to be a proper sequence out there. So that thing you need to evaluate. Okay. Requirement analysis means what? You need to analyze whatever the requirement that client is sharing first. You need to analyze whether those requirements are realistic or not. Okay. You need to check whether those kind of things are implementable or developable or not. That is the first thing. Second thing, you need to analyze, okay, is it as per my work scope or not? Yes, that is your activity. Okay, just give me a minute time. Someone is joining. Okay, Raghu is there. So requirement analysis is, first of all, you need to check whether all the technicalities are there. Is it as per the technical, I mean, is it developable or not? That is the first thing. Second thing you need to check, that is whether what are the things that is developed, you guys are developing or your team is going to develop, whether it's as per the scope or not. Yes, your technical team won't be, I mean, from the technical team's perspective, it won't be possible from you, their side, that they will tell you that this is in the scope, this is not. But this is your responsibility. You should know what is the scope, what is scope of work, what is the out of scope, and till what level you guys will develop. You need to draw the line and you need to inform the client, okay, till that we will develop, and from that we won't be able to develop because this is out of scope. Though this is technically possible. So those kind of review, those kind of analysis you need to have. So the first stage is you need to gather the requirement. The next stage is you need to analyze those requirement. Requirement analysis you have to cover. This is the first stage of analytical thing that a business analyst is covering. The requirement analysis is very much important. All right. So guys, do you have any questions, any concerns? What are the things that we discussed so far? Do you have any questions, any concerns for me? Though we have another document that is we need to discuss. I'm going to share my screen shortly, but before that, please confirm me. I just stop my screen share. So guys, is it, what screen you are seeing right now? Guys, am I audible? Can you hear
We
me?
are
Yeah,
still stuck on the process diagram.
yeah,
The
process
same
diagram.
the same screen you are viewing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to rejoin my session again. Just give me a
sure,
minute time.
sure.
All right, again I'm back. I don't know how many times I need to do this because there are lots of things I need to share today. All right, let me share my screen again because the second diagram that I'm going to share with you, that is a class diagram. Okay, let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it is visible now.
Okay, all right. So this is an example. Okay, let me, sorry, not history. Let me take the hand over here. Okay. So this is a class diagram. What we are doing is over here, that is, all right. Okay, so what we are doing is, let me just maximize. Okay, so this is an online thing. This is, okay, someone is there. Who are they there? So this is an online portal. Okay, so what we are doing is we are ordering system. Oh, not system. This is an ordering system. We are ordering online portal. So what we are doing is this is a example from where, like, from the search, how the search is working. Items are coming through search. You are ordering through search. How the thing is working. Everything is mentioned over here. Okay, what are the things is going to be displayed, what is the relationship over here, like everything is mentioned one by one, like order, item occupied or not, what are the items are there. This is an online portal system, and it's not exactly a complex related things like Amazon or eBay sort of things, but yes, a simplest of online portal is working like that, simplest things, where customer is going to order some items and they can check what are the items that is in the cart, what are the order items that is the already ordered. This is the diagram and how it's going to work. This is the arrow headed thing. It's arrowing, showing you like this. Okay, so as I mentioned, The UML diagram is little bit of technicalities. Of course, there will be some technical related things that will be mentioned, and you can take help from your project manager, or you can take help from your technical team as well. So they will help you out over here. And this kind of things, it will be mentioned. Some of the things you already know, like for a customer, what other things can be there? A name, a customer name can be there, customer ID, those things will come from the database. What is customer ID, password, those kind of things you have to mention. And of course, your team is going to help you guys over there. All right. So this is the process of ordering item. This is the process of how the things is working, how shipping cart, how the address is going to map with those kind of items. Everything is covered over here. Okay, so we are not discussing those process because we know already the processes. The intention is to how we can draw this kind of things. Of course, I showed you like there are lots of templates. To be honest, I didn't draw this particular item. I mean, this is available in the templates. I just brought it up over here. You can use lots of things like in template. There are lots of things available over here. You can use any of the things, whatever the things you want to. Okay. In the next day, what we are going to do is I'm going to show you a flow chart. Okay. I'm going to show you a flow chart, how a flow chart is working, how you can draw those things, if it is anything available in the templates or not, those kind of things I will show it to you. So guys, any questions from here? Do you have any questions, any doubt, any concerns so far? What are the things that we discussed? Do you have any questions, any doubt, any concerns for me?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So we have seen some diagrams like activity diagrams and sequence. Here now it's class diagrams. Where are we
Yeah.
going to document these diagrams? Is it in the business requirements
Okay,
or functional
that is the
requirements?
thing we are going to discuss today. That is the thing we are
Okay.
going to discuss today. First of all, what we are going to discuss, that is already available in the slide. The first thing we are going to discuss, that is the importance of documentations. Okay, let's start our discussion one by one. Okay, so I do have some questions for you guys before moving to the actual thing that we are supposed to discuss. This is an open platform. My question is for everyone. So let's suppose I'm assigning you a task. Okay, let's suppose the agenda is you need to write down an essay on Independence Day. Okay, now tell me, we have six team members over here. Now everyone's content is going to be same or not? Though our agenda is same, our content is going to be same or not?
Be different.
Yes, it would be different.
Different. Why?
There might be some similarities, but it would not be exactly same, right? My version would be
Yes, I
different.
understood. The content will be different. But my question is why it's going to be different?
So each one's
Because the
perspective.
language,
Yeah, each one's perspective is different. The way they write is different.
Guys, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, Rahul, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, you
you're
are.
audible, but
What's wrong?
uh,
Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Sorry, I missed whatever the conversation that is going on. So Can you please repeat it again for me? Sorry.
So we said that there will be a different perspective for each
Okay.
member.
Yes. So, of course, the content is going to be different, though the agenda is same. So my next question is, guys, is it possible for me to tell you like, okay, so independence is nothing like it will be a mathematics, like, okay, it has to be right or wrong. No. So the thing is, can I tell like, okay, someone's documentation is wrong, someone's documentation is correct? I mean, someone says I mean, right, and someone says is correct. Can I tell that? I can tell, okay, your content is good, your content is bad. So I can do that. Okay. But is it possible that I can tell, okay, maybe Anita's content is wrong, maybe Aditya's content is correct? Is it possible?
No.
Yes. This is not possible because the document, my voice is audible, right?
Yes.
Yes, this is practically not possible. Why? Let me explain you why. Because the documentation is all about a relativity. The documentation is all about relative. Okay. So it's not possible for someone to tell, okay, Rahul's documentation is good, Rahul's documentation is wrong. Maybe someone's documentation is correct. No, practically it's not possible. Okay, you can tell that Rahul's documentation is not up to the mark. Rahul's documentation is not good. He can add some more content over there. That is a separate issue. He can add some more agenda, some more points, some more discussion that needs to be that he should have mentioned over there. That is a separate issue. But you cannot tell me upfront that your documentation is wrong. So that is why whenever we are talking about any kind of documentation, there is nothing like right or wrong. Okay, the documentation is completely a relative agenda. My screen is visible, right, guys?
Yes, it's
Yes,
visible.
it is visible.
Okay, so I'm moving my screen and it's also moving, right?
Yes, yes, Rahul. It's moving.
All right. So that is the first thing, that whenever we are discussing about documentations, that is, we have to keep in your mind that, okay, we are six people over here. Okay, and whatever the based on the same agenda, like if I'm asking you, you have to prepare a BRD right now. The agenda is, the requirement is, we have to design maybe an online portal for shopping cart. Okay, so you need to design that. Okay, I'm going to have six sets of documentation. I know the agenda is quite same, everyone's content is not going to be the same, but your agenda is same. So that thing I have to keep in your mind. So that thing you also need to keep in your mind. Okay, that is the first thing you need to keep. Okay, the next thing is the importance of documentation. So can anyone please tell me what is the importance of documentation?
Clarity.
Clarity. Okay, any other thing, any other agenda?
Making sure that everyone is working on the same page.
Yes. Okay. That is a part of clarity. Okay. I can again, I mean, I can take it as a second point. Okay. All right. Any other?
All the requirements are covered.
All the requirements are covered. Okay. Accountability, you mean, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Though, I mean, what are the points you are telling, guys? These are absolutely correct. Yes. Any other points? Okay. I'm telling you a point. Just tell me whether it's correct or not. Okay. Just think about it. What are the requirement I have gathered? How I come to know those requirements are correct?
Yeah,
Is it
documenting them and verify it with
yes, yes.
verifying
So
it
how
with.
can you do that? How can you do that? I mean, couple of minutes earlier, I can't remember who asked me that question, like where I'm going to put this kind of diagrams. I mean, we discussed lots of diagrams, right? So where I'm going to put those diagrams? So my question, my answer is, I can easily ask my client that, okay, please review this particular documents or this particular diagram and let me know what are the process of logging into the system we discussed. This is the thing, whatever what I have understood, is it the same thing or not? Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, that is all. Obviously, I'm telling you a use case or I'm telling you a use of those kind of diagrams. Of course, you can say you can share the same diagram with your team so that you can easily tell them this is a login process that we are going to implement in the team. That I think Jay mentioned this particular point, that is a clarity. So we are maintaining, if let's suppose we are adding those things in our technical document and everything is mentioned over here, yes, of course you are mentioning everything in detail, that is fine. And if you are adding this kind of a chart or this kind of a diagram over there, it's always helpful for everyone to understand what you are trying to say, what is the actual process of logging in. So it is actually pinpoint, you are covering all the areas like the way you can explain. Okay, make sense, guys? So yes, what are the points or what are the agenda you are telling over here, that is all, that is equally important. The next thing I want to draw your attention over here, don't you think these documents are very much important for legal activities?
Yes, true. Yeah.
Have you ever faced in your career any kind of legal related things, of course not not related to your property or your personal activities, but yes, in terms of your professional activities, have you ever faced any kind of legal related, some court related activities?
Sometimes like
I
because of copyright or disagreement with the
No, not
stakeholders.
exactly copyright, not exactly copyright. Let me tell you. Okay, I faced multiple times those kind of things. Okay, so let me tell you, this has just happened to me 6 or 7 months earlier. So I was working in South Korean client, okay, and they are asking me some unrealistic needs. I mean, some unrealistic feature they are asking for. So I'm a person, I'm fully depending on my documentations. I mean, if you are asking me, Rahul, to execute some work, first of all, I'm going to do the documentation first. I'm going to review. I'm going to do all the documentations. Then maybe I'm going to start the work. So I did all the documentations, and after that they deny some of the things. Like they denied, okay, we haven't asked Rahul to do this. But as I have maintained those kind of documents, it's helping us to prove in the court that, okay, because of clients' needs, we develop those kind of things. It's nothing like we develop those things like we feel and we develop. No, we took the all the approvals, all the approval process has been covered. We have the mail copies, we have all the things, even we have a digital signature over here in those kind of documents, and it's helping us to prove our point in front of court. So yes, sometimes maybe you haven't faced it yet, but yes, those kind of things can be there in your professional activities. Like whenever you're working for a B as a BA, there can be a situation where your document can be referred in court, okay, for lawsuit or any other thing. So that is the important agenda, and you have to keep it in your mind that, okay, what are the documentations? Yes, that is a verification. I mean, in terms of like clarification, verification, clarity, fine. These are the internal activities. That is fine. But sometimes your document is going to be referred in front of court also. Can be. Sometimes if you're working for any kind of, okay, so have you ever worked any kind of tax related projects or any financial projects? Anyone? Any tax domain project?
Yeah, initially I was like working in a financial firm where we were investing in the market for the clients.
Okay. So have you ever faced internal audits?
No, not exactly. That was not my responsibility. But yeah, sometimes when clients were having disagreements with the investment, so there were a few issues that we faced.
Yes. So see, I was working in PwC and I was working in US tax project. Okay. So that is a thing that R&D tax we used to tell. Like The people who is working in US, if they're working in any kind of research and development work, they used to get some sort of rebates for their taxes. Okay, so we are working for that particular project. So of course, I'm not responsible for any kind of internal audits, but I'm not an auditor or I'm not audit person. But yes, I need to go through lots of audit related things. What is that? Like, who asked you to develop this? What is the approval? Client is asking you to do this and you're developing that. Don't you think you need to take any internal approval for that? Why you're developing this by your own? Those kind of questions you have to face in the internal audits. Okay, because if you're working for any kind of project like client like Bank of America, if you're working for them, you need to go through those kind of process. Okay, so yes, the internal audit also, it's very much important in terms of documentations. And guys, we all are professional, we are, I mean, we do have some experience, previous experience also. This is a thumb rule in corporate areas. Don't trust your shadow, guys. Don't trust anyone. Whenever anyone asking to do something, please have a mail copy, then only please do that. This is a thumb rule. Don't trust your shadow. All right, let's focus on our activities. So we already discussed all the UML related activities. We already discussed the importance of documentations and all. The next thing that we are going to discuss, that is navigating this is requirement analysis. That is also done. But remember something, in our previous session, we discussed some three important requirements, the basic pillars of requirements, three numbers of basic requirements. What are they? Can anyone please tell me the name of those things?
Functional
It's
requirement, system requirement, and business requirement.
Yes, absolutely correct. The first thing, that is a business requirement. So of course, as I mentioned, we do have associated documents with them. Like business requirement is have a document that is called BRD, that is business requirement documentations. Functional requirement documents, yes, we do have associated documents with that. That is a functional requirement documentation, that is FRD. The next thing, that is we have a software specification documents, that is SRS. Okay, so let me explain one by one what are the documents are. As I mentioned, we have three pillars. Basically, we have three pillars of requirements, and the same way we have three pillars of documentation. There are lots of documentation process. These days, we are not following those documentation process as a, I mean, hardly there is nothing like any thumb rule right now. What are the process we are following these days? There is nothing like any rocket science, or there is nothing like any hard and fast rules out there that you have to follow those kind of documentation process like BRD, FRD, SRS. But yes, what we are following these days, that is a user story. I will tell you what is user story. I mean, not today. In the upcoming sessions, maybe 9 or 10 sessions, we will have a practical example in Jira, and I will show you how. I will show you how we can create any user stories. There are lots of formulas, lots of things that you have to mention, like acceptance criteria, definition of done. We will discuss those things one by one. We don't need to jump over there immediately, but yes, we will discuss those things. That is a part of modern day documentations. But yes, we need to go through all the things one by one. So we are going to have a traditional approach. First, we need to know that is a BRD, FRD, SRS. So without wasting any time, let's discuss first what is BRD. BRD is business requirement documentations, guys, as you already know. So what is that? It is a high level documents. When initially client is telling you, okay, I need to develop a online ordering portal, like the diagram suggests, the online ordering portal. So how you can do that? So business related problems, like why client is asking us to develop a online ordering portal. What is the background of the project? Why one client wants to develop this kind of things? What is the key area? What is the trigger point? Those kind of things will be mentioned in the BRD. Remember something? BRD is the high level requirement documents, nothing else. It's going to be nothing technical about it, but yes, it's going to be all about business. Any questions, guys? Okay. The next one, that is FRD. What is functional requirement documents? Of course, we have to draw or we have to develop the FRD from BRD. So to be honest, this kind of documentations is called sequential documents. One by one, based on some documents, you have to develop the future documents. Yes, from BRD, you have to maintain the FRD. Initially, we discussed how the functionality of the particular feature is going to work. Yes, the same thing you have to bring it over here in the documentations. How functionally it's going to work, you have to explain those kind of things. Yes, this document is going to be somehow technical. Some technicalities will be mentioned over here. So you have to maintain some sort of technicalities. At the same time, a little bit of business related informations will be carried forward from BRD. It's the mixed related documents that is going to be FRD. Last but not the least, the SRS. The SRS is going to be a game changer because, to be honest, your technical persons, I mean, all the developers, all the development team is going to refer your SRS only. They are not concerned about, they are not bothered about your BRD, FRD and all. They only need the SRS. So SRS is all related technicalities, how the system is going to work one by one, every feature, every button, how it's going to work, what are the functionalities going to be there, everything it has to be mentioned over there. Okay, like there is a back button. Okay, how the back button is going to work, if I press it once, how it's going to behave. If you want to develop it, okay, if I have a long press over there, how it's going to behave, what are the functionality that I'm thinking over there. Everything is going to be mentioned one by one in SRS documents. So SRS document is very much required for the technical aspects. Your technical team is going to refer the documents whenever they are working, whenever they're developing, I mean, in terms of their activities, whenever they're doing that, everything they will refer one by one. Okay, all the features is going to be there. So if you feel that, okay, I missed some of the feature, you need to provide a new version of the SRS document. Okay, because if you miss that, that feature won't be there, because if you missed, I mean, your development team is not going to develop that because that is not mentioned in the documents. So they are going to mention, they are going to follow that document only. These days, we are not following that kind of approach. These days, we do have user stories. We are following user stories blindly. Everything we have to mention, every feature we have to mention in the user stories. We will discuss one by one. I mean, not today. In our upcoming session, we will discuss how the user story is very much important, and we will discuss how we can develop a user story one by one. So yes, we will discuss everything in detail. Don't worry about that. So these are the basic three documentations. There are lots of documentations out there, like gap analysis documents, but I will cover those kind of documents in the analytical part. Whenever we are going to discuss the analytical thing, we are going to cover those kind of documents later on. First, you need to understand how those three documents are working. Maybe there can be lots of questions can be asked from your side. The first question I'm expecting, that is, Rahul, you mentioned this is a traditional approach. Do you need, I mean, are you guys going to prepare those kind of documentation even now also? I would say no. It's up to you. If you feel that, okay, let me tell you my story, how I'm working. So initially, whenever I have the requirement, guys, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So initially, whenever I have the requirement, what I'm doing is I am preparing the BRD. That is the most important thing. And if you're asking me, is it mandatory or not? I would say don't follow or don't need to know whether it's mandatory or not, but please prepare a BRD because it is going to be your guide, or it is going to be a Bible. So please, whenever you're into a new project, please maintain or please develop a BRD first. That is very much important. Next, if you are preparing SRS FRD, that is a separate thing. That is a secondary item. I'm not going to tell you that, okay, it is required or not. It is up to you. If you feel that it is required, you can do that. If you feel that, okay, I don't need it, I don't need to waste time over there, you can prepare your user story. That's fine. That is more than enough. But the BRD is one of the things that I feel that has to be there. And please develop that, or please bring those documents. I mean, BRD documents, this is essential. Now, the next question is, Rahul, can you please share me any of the documentations, any of the sample documentation? Yes, I will do that. Okay. I'm going to share you some of the documentations as a sample documentations. I'm going to share you. Don't worry about it. But before sharing those things, I'm going to tell you some sort of disclaimer. What is that? The disclaimer is, don't copy and paste any of the documentations. So I'm telling you from my previous experience, guys. So I think you can understand this technical world is very much small. So one day, one of my peers, that is, she's working in another company, she connected me and she's asking me, Rahul, you are really so famous. I was asking her why you are telling me this kind of things, because one of my junior guy, I mean, that guy is, I asked him to prepare a BRD or SRS. And what he is doing is, he is preparing those documents. He shared me that particular document, and I found over there, you are not working in my company, but I found every now and then there is your name. Can you please tell me why? So I told her that, okay, maybe he was learning the BA activities from my side, and I shared the document with him as a reference document. But what he's doing is, he's copy those documents blindly and pasting them. Do you think those activities are correct?
That's
No.
not professional.
Yes. So that is my request, you guys. Please copy it. I'm not telling that no, don't copy this. Even sometimes I'm copying from Google also. See, I'm not God. I don't know everything. But yes, it's not possible for a person to know everything. That is absolutely correct. There is nothing harm to acknowledge that, okay, you are not aware of it, you don't know about this. This is completely acceptable. But if you are copying those things, even I am copying some sort of content from somewhere. Okay. But it's nothing harm to mention that. It's nothing harm to open your eyes and see what you are copying, guys. You're copying my name, my IDs over there, and everyone can easily understand who Rahul is by the IDs. So the thing is, it is very much essential to know what to copy and what to not. Yes, copy everything. That is not a problem. But please open your eye and see what you're copying and what you are pasting over here. Use your mind, use your presence of mind. That is the only thing, being a business analyst, you have to use every now and then. See, the thing is, whenever you're dealing with your client, whenever you're talking with your client will ask you lots of uncomfortable questions. Okay. But you need to know how to tackle them. You need to know how to, how to deal with them. Without knowing that, if you're telling them some, if you do some some weak talk or anything loose talking, it will impact your company. If you are the face of your company, right? Whenever you're dealing with your client, whenever you do some loose talking, of course it's going to impact your company face. That is why I'm telling you guys. Of course, I'm going to share you some sort of documents, but what I'm going to do is, of course, because of some ethics related problem, I'm not going to share you my client's name. I'm not going to share you those financial terms in terms of values and all. I'm not going to share you guys, but yes, I'm going to share you a dummy documents where you will come to know how the documents is looking like, what are the agendas that is going to be mentioned over there. One by one, everything you will come to know. But yes, it's going to be a dummy document without having anyone's name over there. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it from our today's session, guys. Do you have any questions, any concerns? So let's start the question answer session, guys. Of course, I do have some time in my hand to discuss all the questions and all. So now the stage is yours, guys. So please ask me, did we lose anyone? Someone left. Okay, no problem. So do you have any questions? Anita, Jay, I'm asking you two guys. Any questions from your side?
Yes,
Yeah,
I.
Rahul. Okay. You
Okay,
go,
one by
Anika.
Yeah,
one.
you please guide.
Anika, you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
Anita, go ahead.
Okay. I have a question like I have a career break and the type of projects I worked was waterfall projects. So
Mm-hmm.
the term you are using now it's kind of agile, right? Whatever
Yeah.
you're using like use case, acceptance criteria. So or the, how which methodology is widely used and whether we are going to completely transform or the organizations are completely transformed to agile methodology.
Okay.
That's my question.
That is a good question, to be honest. I'm going to share the stats. I used to share those stats, I mean, whenever we are discussing that. Usually, you can consider 90% project these days are following agile or mixed agile, I mean, hybrid agile, or not exactly waterfall we are using these days. But don't worry, Anita, like it won't affect your career. Don't worry about it. We can follow agile. You will come to know what agile is. We will discuss everything in detail. Don't worry about it. It won't matter.
Okay.
All right. Now, Jay. No, Jay, I'm not going to ask you your questions. Pritha.
Yeah. So we were discussing about the documentation. So does these require any sign off? Because you were discussing about
Yes.
legality.
Yeah,
So do
of
they
course.
require
You
sign
need
off?
some sort of sign-offs over there. It depends. Like now, I have seven to eight. Yes, I have 7 to 8 business analysts in my team. And of course, I'm working in a team where I am into the development projects. So right now, I have no one who is going to sign off my documents. But yes, I am doing the sign off like my junior's document. Yes, sometimes you need to go through the sign off process. This is correct. Thank you, Preeta, for covering that point.
Sure. Does it require from the stakeholders to make sure like they reviewed the document
No,
and
it depends.
okay,
It depends
okay,
which organization you're working on. So in let me tell you my how we are working. So so to be honest, you don't in our organization, you don't need to use Microsoft Word. We do have our own portal where you can write down all those things. Of course, I can show you some of the things. Do you know what is Confluence?
yes, yeah,
Yes. So this is not an organization thing, but my organization purchased those license from them. This is an Atlassian product, like the Jira is an Atlassian product. So it is an Atlassian company product. So the thing is, we are writing everything in Confluence. We send it. We do have a feature over there to send it for approvals. So it's an organizational level. Like my juniors, whenever they're sending for
yeah, got
approvals,
it.
it's going to come to me. So I am the person who is going to authorize that. When it's authorized, it's going to go live or it's going to be there for everyone to review that. Until unless I'm approving those things, it won't be there. Okay, makes
Got
sense.
it. Yeah, thank you. Thank
Okay, now Jay, I know you're waiting, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul. So, Rahul, whenever we create a visualization like a process or a architecture, like we try
Mhm.
to present it, so it's not like that in the first attempt we clear the like we make the final one. It's like
Yes,
step
of
by
course.
step.
As I
The step by
mentioned, there will
step
be
is
lots
involved.
of variation, lots of versions will be there.
Yeah, so like initially we made a visualization and then we transformed it by like adding three stages of normalization and generalization, or if there are if there is a need, we also added compensation, aggregation, or inheritance concepts and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
So like the diagrams we get, like we have multiple diagrams then in our hand.
Yes, yes.
what we created initially and at the end that we are having finally in our hand. So which of the diagram you put in the business requirement document personally, and
See,
suppose
yeah,
if you put the final diagram, what you do of
yeah.
all the diagrams which are within your hand.
This is a good question. I used to cover this question whenever I'm going to discuss the change management or change request. So to
Mhm.
be honest, guys, this change request is the one of the thing that you need to face. Okay, I mean, we need to face the reality, and this is the most challenging part that being a business analyst you need to face. That is a change request or change management. Okay, so I'm not talking about anything ITIL related activities, but yes, the change request is one of the thing that clients supposed not to do, but agile framework is providing them that kind of a feasibility that they can update, change their requirement whenever they want to. Okay, and companies are getting paid, so your company is not going to complain anything. But from your perspective, this agile framework is so rapidly moving, it is so quickly moving, you're not going to get that much of time for documentations. But
Mhm.
as Jay is mentioning, like whenever client is asking, like Rahul, maybe just imagine 6 months earlier our login process, the document, I mean the diagram I shared, the documentation is saying something else. I mean that, let's suppose 6 months earlier the login process was something different, but now my client is facing some sort of problem in there in that particular system. They want to upgrade that. Now they want something else. Again, I'm going to redo the documentations, I'm going to redo the diagram, and I'm going to prepare a version 2 documents. Of course, maybe that feature is already developed. That is not an issue. Okay, we are going to redo that thing again because we are going to pay, we are going to be paid. That is not a problem. But yes, in terms of documentation, you need to redo those things again and again. I am telling you 6 months gap. To be honest, guys, sometimes I'm facing, today morning they are sharing something, some requirements. In the evening they are changing their mind. Again, next day morning they are changing their mind. So I face those kind of rapid changes. Just imagine, within 3 hours I have to maintain 3 versions of documents. So guys, this is a challenging part. Yes, you have to face it. Like I'm going to discuss in detail whenever we are going to discuss the change request or change management thing, in terms of documentations, in terms of team management, in terms of business, how you are going to work, what are the approach is going to be, everything will be discussed, right? Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, Rahul.
All right. Last but not the least, Raghu, don't feel alone over here. I'm with you. Tell me, what is your questions?
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm one of the questions I'm going to ask is you already discussed. I think I want to ask about scope creep. How do you handle it with the stakeholders?
Yeah.
How do you negotiate it? How do you explain them? So
So
they'll be
don't
coming with the.
worry. Don't worry. You are going to face that thing. Don't worry. It is one of the headache that every business analyst is having. So it's going to be there. Don't worry. We are going to discuss that. It is in our agenda. We are going to discuss that, but not today. We do have some other slots for that. We will do that. Don't worry. Our next agenda is going to be SDLC and STLC, and we are going to go for agile related things, slow one by one. And after that, once we complete those agile scrum, all those things, we will start discussing about those scope creeps, change management and all, in terms of everything. Once the change management arises, what is the impact is going to be in the requirement, what is the impact is going to be in the documentation, what is the impact is going to be in the financial aspects, what is the impact is going to be in the business management, everything we're going to discuss one by one. Don't worry about it. And I think you asked me some documents. I shared those documents to everyone. um, you have it, you have the
Yeah,
documents, right?
yeah, yeah. Thank you. I saw it.
All right, no problem, guys. So I think that's it for today's session. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for everything. Please, yes, it is recorded now. Okay, so today's session is also recorded. I'm going to share you the recordings. At the same time, I'm going to share you some sort of new documentation again, new some documents with some sample documents. Yes. So please go through those documents, go through this particular recording. If you have any questions, any doubt, any concerns, we can discuss in our next session. So I'm signing off right now. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.